So today we are going to be down on the floor a bit, and then we're also going to be doing a little bit of standing, but a lot of it really is going to be down on the floor. So feel free to have your mat, grab a couple of pillows, grab, yoga blocks, or if you need to do the exercises standing, that's okay too. Remember, we always modify our workouts, and I'm going to unlock my phone, and I'm going for flexibility this morning for those of you that like to do these workouts with me. But we're just going to start. Nice big breath in and then exhale out. Good. Big breath in. And as we do this, remember, we're always doing an assessment of our body. So we're trying to see, how are things feeling today? My shoulders are feeling pretty good. Those are my shoulders, and then my one knee is usually what tends to give me a little bit of grief. So doing a little test. How do my shoulders feel right now? My left one feels a little off. That's pretty normal. Good. Bring it in. We're just going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down into our back pocket. And now my left shoulder is starting to sound a little bit more crunchy. So just shoulders down. All right, shoulders down away from the ears, ear to shoulder, side to side. And remember, we're just warming up, and especially in the morning, all of the fluid has kind of redistributed itself throughout our body. So that's why you tend to feel tighter and stiffer in the morning, because you usually have extra fluid in your joints. So once we get that fluid out and moved around a little bit more, it'll feel a little bit looser. Good. Let's bring the head up. We're going to look to the right, look to the left. So nice, good side to side head turn. And then same thing, just how is your body feeling today? How's the head and neck feeling today? 2, 1, bring it in the center. Arms out in front, open and close. You can give yourself a little bit of a hug. So today we're going to be doing some hips, some shoulders, a little bit of mobility, and then a little bit of stability as well. And a lot of these exercises you can do standing, you can do sitting, or you can do with the support of a chair. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in the center. Now we're going to bring the arms up, and we're just going to swing. And we want to still focus on keeping our ribs tucked. So if we get tight in the shoulders, a lot of times we start flaring out our ribs, and it really isn't necessarily a conscious movement, but we want to try to keep the ribs tucked under, and we just want to focus about a good swing. 2, and 1. Bring it into the center, tap it out to the side. We're going to just swing the arms across. We're starting to lengthen the back of the body. Add a little bit of side movement, a little rotation, wake up the spine. 4, 3, 2, bring it in. We're going to take it to the side, reach it up and overhead, adding in that little bit of a side bend. And it's also, we're stretching out the entire side of the body here. I don't know if you could hear that little pop in my shoulder. And it was one of those, what I'm talking about, it was one of the deep pops, like not one of the sharp pops, but one of the deep ones. Good. 2, 1, bring it into the center, shoulders down, arms out to the side, thumbs up, palms facing forwards. And we're just going to go for nice, good shoulder circles and change direction. And I just start with little ones and just get that ball moving in the socket. Here's 2, and 1, bring it in, and now we're really going to focus on the side bend. Lengthen the space between your ribs and your hips. Just a little stretch. Good, and here's 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it into the center, feet hip width apart, toes pointing forwards, and we're going to do our hip circles. It's just our hula hoop. And as we do this, you're going to notice, for most of us, good, change direction, that certain hip positions or certain foot positions, we feel it more than others. Bring it in. We're going to just open up those toes a little bit. So now we're duck-footed, and then same thing. So just a nice good circle. And let's change direction. 2, 1, bring it in, and now we're just going to pivot, and we're going to bring those toes in, and we move from the hips when we do this. And then same thing, hip circle. And of course, this is the one that feels kind of goofy for me, especially on this side. That's my tight muscles. Good, change direction. So this is the side where I definitely feel it. It's a little bit tighter. I feel a little bit more of a pull. Good, 2 and 1. Bring it into the center. Grab something to hold on to if you need to. We're going to stand nice and tall, and we're just going to swing that leg front to back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to switch sides. Same thing. So just a nice good front to back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. We're going to do side leg lifts. Hands on a wall or on a chair, table, just something so that you don't accidentally kick it so far enough away. And we're going to do out, and we're going to do that swing across. And I know that our warm-up is kind of repetitive, but in a way that's a good thing, because this is a good warm-up, hits all the major muscle groups. It's easy to remember, fairly easy to remember, but warm-ups can be repetitive. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching over to the other side. Adjust your position if you need to. And then same thing. So you can just do an out and across. So remember too, we don't want to turn our toe up towards the ceiling. I want you to take it out to the side and then bring it across. But our body, it improves because of repetition and consistency. So you'll see a lot of the moves that we do are the same or similar, just a little bit different. It's because it's that repetition. So if you do strength with me, we do a lot of squats. Good, 2 more. 2 and 1. Bring it in. We're going to take our legs nice and wide, toes forward or a little bit out, and we're going to do our double little pulses. Double little pulses. So when we do strength training, we do a lot of squats, we do lunges, we do deadlifts, we do bicep curls. Those are the big movements that are going to get us stronger, and the more you do them, the more you practice them, the better at them you get. So if you only do squats, once in a blue moon, it's going to be really hard to get better at doing squats. So same thing with mobility and stretching. If you do the same things kind of over and over, you get better at it. Here's 2 and 1. Bring it into the center. We're nice and tall. We're going to hinge it forwards. And we're going to do our front side, our front, middle, and reverse. So front, middle, and reverse. So forward, middle, and back. Knees are straight. Spine is neutral. So we're hinging. This is a little bit of a hinge at our hips. If you can touch the floor, great. Not all of us can. After I do a few of these, I can tend to get a little bit closer, and that's kind of the goal. So forward, middle, reach it back to reverse. Forward, middle, reach it back. Couple more. Here's the last one for me. Then I'm going to carefully bring it all the way up. Keep that wide stance, arms out to the side. Side lunge, a little bit of a torso rotation. So side lunge. So we're going to push the leg out, and then we're going to rotate. One arm is going to reach towards your knee, your calf, your ankle. The other one, you're going to open that shoulder up towards the ceiling. So I almost want you to imagine you're trying to turn your shoulder sideways, like you want to put your back against the wall that's to the side of you. Good, and here's 2 and 1, and we're going to take it down into a plank position. You can use a chair for this one. I'm just going to take it down, walk it out, keeping my wide leg stance. I'm going to take it up into a down dog, and then I'm going to come back to my plank. So down dog and plank. So nice good hinge, hips go up towards the ceiling, and then you come back to a plank. So you're driving down the road, you find a hill or a mountain, and then you find flat road. So hill or mountain, flat road. Good, one more. Hinge. Good, back to plank. Walk it back up to a standing position. Roll the shoulders, walk around, grab a quick drink of water. We're going to do a couple exercises standing, and then we're going to head down to the floor. And I am going to grab my mat today because my floor is cold. That's really my kind of biggest issue today, is the floor is cold. So we're going to start with heel walks. So hold on to a wall if you need to. We're going to lift the toes up. We're going to balance on our heels, and then I just want you to walk around on your heels. So you put on your high-heeled shoes in reverse. So instead of the heels being underneath the heel of your foot, it's actually under the toe. And the tricky part is I want you to keep those toes lifted the entire time. So a lot of times we kind of do a little bit of an interesting duck walk where we let the toes go down. I want you to try to keep your toes lifted. So you're balancing on those heels. Sometimes we do it as a march. I kind of like to do the penguin walk a little bit more, working on my hips, stabilizing those legs. Good, bring it in. We're going to shake it out. And we're just going to do some shoulder pinches. So you can brace your core. Arms out here is a little bit harder than arms down here, but we want to really think about focusing on keeping our core nice and stable. Arms out, shoulders down. I want you to squeeze the shoulders, and then I want you to press them forwards. So squeeze and press. Squeeze and press. And the hard part is sometimes we squeeze and then we push and we bring the arms up. But I want you to think straight back, straight forwards. Straight back, straight forwards. And it's a hard one to do. So if you're really struggling, arms here, pinch, and a little press. But we don't want to pinch and press here. We want to just think bellies in, squeeze the shoulders, reach the arms forwards. Good, 4, 3, here's 2, and 1. Bring it in, shake it out. We're going to head down to the floor or standing, and you're going to have a chair nearby for support, but we're going to do some half kneeling positions, some hip flexor and some hamstring. So put something underneath your knee if you need to. We're going to go for our half kneeling. So we're going to do half kneeling position, tuck your tail, squeeze your glute, keep the core tight. We're going to press it forwards, and then we're going to press it back, and I want you to straighten your front knee. So press it forward, hip flexor. Press it back, straighten your front knee. Now, I find that if I don't push my hip back to my heel, I kind of pop my hip out to the side, which that's kind of a thing. Or if you're comfortable with it, if you can sit your hip back towards your heel, come back up, hip flexor forwards, hips back to heel. So how far you go is up to you. You can absolutely do this with the foot on a chair. So I would be sideways to the chair, so your hand is going to be holding onto the back. You're facing sideways on the chair. This front foot is on the chair. And you can do your hip flexor, and then you can do your hamstring. Or standing, foot will be to the side of the chair. Just makes it a little bit easier for you. Good. This is our last one. Now bring it back up to your half kneeling. Take your hands down to the floor. We're going to go into our runner's lunge. If you're tight here, you can stay. But if you're able to, I want you to walk that foot a little bit farther back. And we're going to start with our front leg, and we're just going to wiggle it. So I like to take one hand and place it on my knee, and I just move that hip in and out. So it's that internal, external rotation. I'm just going to come up so you can see in and out. It's just a wiggle. Good, 2 and 1. We're going to bring it up into a plank, and then we're going to switch it over to the other side. So bring it forward, and we're actually going to go back and start with that hip flexor and hamstring. So we're going to come back up to our half kneeling position, tuck your tail, squeeze your glute. We're going to press it forwards, and then we're going to take it back, and then we're going to try to straighten that front knee. So take it back and straighten. So it's just a good hamstring stretch and in. Now again, I like to go forwards, and then I feel comfortable straightening my front knee, sitting my hip to my heel. So that means that on the back of your body, you're going to get your hip flexor. And then when we go back, you're also going to get a little bit of front of the knee and lower quad. You have to modify this based on how you feel. So this is a slow and steady, and hinge it back. And remember, if you need to, if you're standing, hip flexor forwards, and then I step in and I hinge. So I add a little bit of movement, so press it back and then hinge. Good, we're going to go for a couple more. Hip flexor, hamstring, hip flexor, hamstring. Good, bring it back up to that half kneeling position, hinge it forwards. Hands down on the floor. We're going to walk that back knee back if you can. I keep the back knee on the floor. And then we're going to take our hand and we're going to very gently just wiggle that hip. Wiggle the hip, wiggle the knee. So it's just a nice, good in and out. And the whole goal is just to focus on movement. I'm getting a hip flexor stretch in the back leg as well, but really kind of trying to focus on this hip. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to go ahead and lift up into that plank, step it back, carefully bring the heels down to the ground. And we're going to flip over onto our buns. We're going to give the hands and the knees a little bit of a break. And we're going to do our 90-90s. So hands on the hips, and we're just going to take it 90 over and 90 over. And yes, we do this stretch a lot just because it is so good for your hips to be able to do this one. And you work your way up. So maybe you have to start by leaning kind of far back. And then you can walk your hands a little bit closer to those hips, and then you can bring it up, and you can try to do this without holding on. So it just kind of depends on how you're feeling. This is a little bit more core, a little bit harder for the hips. And I am definitely crunchy this morning. Gotta love the cold weather. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, bring it up. We're going to go back to our half kneeling position. But this time we're going to work on our inner thighs. So half kneeling, we bring it up in front, and then we're going to open this hip. If you can open it out to the side, great. But when you open to the side, we don't want to turn this hip too. So you might be tight, you might have to be pointing towards the corner, but wherever your toe is pointing, that is where your knee is going to go as well. We tuck our tail, we squeeze our glute, and we're just going to press it straight out and come back in. I am going to go out and come back. If that is really uncomfortable for your knee, you can take it out and you can hold it. But I like to add in the movement. Right now I'm working on an inner thigh stretch. We don't want to let the knee pop forwards, and we don't want to let our hip go backwards. So we're trying to keep that tuck, keep that squeeze, and we're just going to try to press that knee out. So press it out and in. Good. One more time. Take it out and in. Now we're going to keep that leg out, and you can walk it back a little bit. We're going to focus on the calf. So now it's okay to kind of hinge back a little bit. I am going to take my hand, press it on my ankle, and actually push my heel down into the ground. You can have your other hand on the floor for a little support if you'd like. If you're pretty flexible, you can walk your foot out a little bit more. Or if you feel a lot of pressure in your knee, you can also walk your foot away from you a little bit. But the whole goal is I'm really trying to push my heel down. My knee is tracking over my second toe, and I just feel a nice good stretch in that calf. There's 2. 1, bring it in, shake it out. We're going to come up and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So come up into your half kneeling position, keeping the hips, knees, and toes forward. We open it out to the side or to the corner. If you're going to the corner, your knee is going to go to the corner as well. But we're just open here, tuck your tail under, press the knee out, and then come back. And I don't expect you to go super, super far. You're going to get a little inner thigh stretch here, but it's really right in here that I feel it the most. So taking it out and bringing it back up. So out and up. And again, you have that option to take it out and hold it. So you get the stretch. And if your knee is bothering you, because we kind of go from the inside of our knee to the center of our knee to the inside of our knee, and that doesn't always feel very good for everybody. So you just modify as needed. Good, just a couple more. Hinge and up. Hinge and up. Good. Now adjust your foot if you need to. Bring it in or bring it out. You can hinge it back a little bit, but we're going to press that heel down into the ground. You're going to press your knee over your toe. And again, depending on your flexibility, you can move your foot farther out. You can pull it back a little bit more. Same thing with your knee. You might not feel comfortable having your knee this bent, but I like taking my hand and honestly, I push, you've got that nice little hold right there, and I really push my heel down into the ground. And I just do a nice good hold. So it's a really good stretch. This is working your soleus as you have a bent knee, a little bit of gastrocnemius, but most of your soleus. 2 and 1, bring it in. We're going to shake it out. We're going to come up to standing for a couple of exercises. So we're going to bring that foot in front. We're going to come up to standing. We're going to take our legs a little bit wide, toes forward or a little bit in. Option 1, you're here. Option 2, arms up. This is harder than you think it is. We're going to take our hands here. We're going to turn to the right. We're going to hinge it forwards, and we're going to draw a nice, good smiley face all the way over until we're facing the left side of the room, and then we're going to return to the center. And now we're going to go the other direction. So we're going to turn, hinge, circle it all the way around, bring it up and in. And this is one, like in the warm-up, we don't want to do a lot of rounding of the spine, but we're going to turn, we're going to hinge, we're going to sweep and bring it back up. And then we turn and we hinge and we sweep and we bring it back up. Don't feel you have to go to the floor. There is nothing wrong with just being here. Everybody's a little bit different. How your body's feeling, how your legs are feeling. Heck, maybe you're feeling a little bit dizzy today and you just don't want your head to go below your heart. I get it. Our whole goal is to move our bodies in a way that feels good. Might feel a little weird, might feel a little bit awkward, but it should feel good. Good. Couple more. So we're going to do one side, swing it around and bring it up. And then it's the turn, the hinge, swing it around and then back up. And now I'm going to hinge to the floor and I'm just going to hang. Now this is another one that if you can't reach the floor, maybe you have a chair nearby. And I just want you to hang, and you can rest your hands on the chair. But I just want you to hang. Now if you feel comfortable taking the top of your head and pointing it down to the floor, great. If you don't, It's okay if you're looking a little bit out ahead. Remember, this is supposed to feel better, not supposed to feel worse. I'm going to add a little swing side to side. You don't have to do this the whole time. You can do it for a few seconds. Good. And then we're going to start to bring it up. And what I do is I kind of roll it about halfway up, place my hands on my thighs like we're going to do a standing cat-cow. Not everybody is going to have to stop, but I do. And then I'm going to slowly kind of start to walk my way up. So remember, sometimes it's just time. Like if we go from floor to standing, that doesn't always feel good, right? Good. And let's go ahead and carefully bring it in. We're going to take it back down to the floor. We're going to do straddles. So we're working on hamstrings a bit today. This is one that if you struggle to sit tall with your legs straight, put pillows underneath your hips. So I want you to just put something underneath your hips. We're going to take our legs out straight, and we're just going to do side bend right, side bend left. So side bend right, side bend left. So a little bit of side to side movement. Again, you can do this sitting in a chair. You can do this standing up. You always have options. I like to do this on the floor, and I like to keep doing this on the floor because I want to at least maintain what I have. Good, 2 and 1, bring it in. Now we're going to reach it across the body corner to corner. And I still want you to think about sitting up tall. I still want you to think about keeping those legs straight. So we want to try not to let the knees pop up off the floor. Corner and corner. Good, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center, nice and tall. And we're going to start to walk ourselves forwards. And I just want you to hold it. So just a nice good forward fold, forward reach. Maybe you're really tight and this is your forward fold. As long as you're feeling that stretch, we're good to go. Good, let's bring it in. We're going to do a tabletop. So we're going to do a tabletop bridge. You can do this with a chair. Hands are going to be on the seat of the chair. Otherwise, our hands are by our hips. They're very close to our hips, shoulders down and back. Feet closer is a little bit easier. Feet farther out, a little bit harder. But we're going to pull the shoulders down and back. We're going to push through. We're going to lift up into a bridge. Now you can just lift your hips off the floor and wiggle side to side. You can lift a little bit higher, wiggle side to side, or bring it all the way up, tabletop. And again, a little bit of side to side. How high you go is up to you. I feel a massive stretch in the fronts of my shoulders here, but I'm not letting my shoulders pop up by my ears. I'm trying to push that floor away, open my chest. And again, you can just be here, hips a couple inches off the floor, and you wiggle. When your wrists finally say enough is enough, you just have your sit down, have a rest. Bring it down towards the floor. Here's 2. And 1, carefully bring it in. We're just going to shake out those wrists a little bit. And now we're going to flip over onto our tummies. We're going to do a couple of snow angels, and then we're going to do some torso rotation. So we're going to take it all the way down to the floor. I like to tuck my toes under and press them into the floor, and then I squeeze my glutes. So sometimes I do this and I actually get my thighs to lift up a little bit off the floor. We're going to start with our hands down by our hips, back of the hands facing the floor. We're going to swing our arms out to the side until we form the letter T, and now we're going to rotate so the palms are facing the floor, and then we're going to bring it up overhead. So take it out to the side, letter T, rotate, back of the hand faces the floor, thumbs to hips. So out to the side, rotate forwards, out to the side, rotate down. So you don't have to lift your upper body super high off the floor. You can even put a yoga block or a pillow or rolled up towel underneath your forehead. And that'll help keep a nice neutral spine, because sometimes we do this and we're looking out ahead and we really want to just look down at the floor, make friends with the mat. Good, we're gonna do one more. Out to the side, rotate forwards. Out to the side, rotate back. Let's take our hands, press them into the floor right next to our chest, shoulders down and back. Big breath in. Exhale, push yourself up and back. Hands and knees position to start. Now we're going to walk our knees out to the side. Toes are in, so froggy position. Hips to heels. Right hand by the right knee. Push the floor away, left hand lightly behind the ear. Inhale, elbow to elbow, and then exhale, open back behind you. Just a variation on open book. Good, one more right here. Inhale, elbow to elbow. Exhale, now I want you to hold the exhale, and I want you to hold your open book. I want you to take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, can you go a little bit farther? We're going to do that one more time. Big breath in. Exhale and open. Good. Let's switch it over to the other side. So frog position, hand by the knee, push that floor away. We're going to take elbow to elbow, and then we're going to open back behind you. Keep those hips close to your heels. If you struggle with hips to heels, place a couple pillows between your hips and your heels. That'll elevate you. That'll allow you to give your knees a little bit of a rest. And so you can kind of focus on the rotation. Good, one more time. Inhale, elbow to elbow. Exhale, open back behind you. We're going to hold it here. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, open a little more. Good, and again, inhale, big breath in. Exhale, open a little bit more. Good, bring it into the center. Walk those knees in a little bit. Come up to a kneeling position. Now we're going to come to a half kneeling position, and we're going to come back up to standing again. We're going to go ahead and, if you've got a band, grab your band. If you don't, do the exercises with me, just without the band. You're still going to get some benefit out of this. And we're going to do our shoulder circles. And remember, if you don't have a band, you can also just come over to the wall, and you can do your shoulder circles against a wall. But we're going to do our shoulder dislocates. We know what's coming. We do these pretty much every class. Start with your hands wide. So we start with them wide, up and around, and then we try to rotate thumbs together, and then we take it out to the side, up and around, and then we try to take our thumbs together in the back. They're not going to go, but it's that internal rotation here, circumduction, and then external rotation here. Now remember, you can always just do a nice good arm circle and then come back around. If you're going to do the arm circles, I really do recommend you have your arm, you stand sideways to that wall, because when we take our arms back and try to reach back behind us, that's when most of us have trouble. And we start to turn our body and we don't get that stretch we really need. Just remember, start away from the wall. The farther away you start, the easier it is. And then as you start to feel looser, you can start to walk yourself closer to the wall. Same thing with the dislocates. Start with your arms really wide, and then start walking it in a little bit as you start to feel a little bit looser. And you can kind of see I'm struggling a little bit more here. You can do this with a yoga block, or not a yoga block, like a yoga strap, but it's going to be a little bit harder. Just keep that in mind. Good. This is going to be our last one. Up and around. And then let's bring it up and back and in. Wiggle the fingers, roll the shoulders. We're going to do a little bit of head tilting and then a little bit of head turning. Good. Now we're going to do our band pull aparts. 10 right, 10 left, 10 both. I like to do mine palms facing up because we spend so much time here. I want everybody to open up. So we're going to do 10 right. So we're going to take it back and bring it in. 7. Good, here's 8 for me, 9, and 10. Shake it out if you need to, reset, lock the right arm in, and we're gonna take it back. And it looks like I'm turning, but I'm not, so I'm not letting my body turn. I'm holding it here. For me, it's 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in, a little bit of a shake out if you need to. Arms up, set the shoulders, and try to pull it, if you can, pull it back. 3, 4. Good, I'm going to do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, arms down. Set that band off to the side, little wiggle. Now those band pull-aparts, 10 right, 10 left, 10 both. You can do those every day. Start with 1 set a day, then work your way up to 2, and then eventually progress to 3 sets every day. 3 sets. I know that seems like a lot, but 3 sets. So now we're just going to take a nice deep breath in. Right hand is going to grab the left wrist, and we're going to gently reach it up and over. Nice, good stretch. And then bring it down. Good, and then we're going to take it up. Left hand gently grabs the right. Going to lift it up and over. And bring it down. Roll the shoulders, just a nice good shoulder roll. I'm really feeling my shoulders today, which is weird because we didn't even do shoulders yesterday. I intentionally left them out. Good, now we're going to flex our wrists. Elbows are straight. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Good, and then we're going to change direction. Now we're going to take the arms out to the side, elbows straight, reach the fingers back, wash the walls, and then change direction. A little bit of flossing. Good, bring it in, and then we're going to take a nice deep breath in. Spread the fingers, spread the toes. Exhale. One more time, big breath in and out. And you are all done.